Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to our last day of storytelling here on the last day of the year. It is December 31st, 2024, our last day of 2024 as we bid the year goodbye. Say hello to 2025 starting tomorrow. We've got our last story to talk about today. Today, for this final story that I'm going to tell, this is a story that I have told a bit before. Gary Joyce knows this story, but it bears repeating because I think this is an instance of getting introduced to an album pretty much when it first comes out by a really close friend, and then the both of you loving that album so much that it becomes like the soundtrack to a time spent together that you'll always kind of remember. So I'm going to go back to, this album was released in May of 1993. So I'm 5 years out of college, working kind of a shitty job, but making a little bit of money and whatnot, drinking way too much, partying way too much, and just living a kind of a carefree life and, just doing my thing. And my buddy Steve Fleck, who you've seen here on the channel before, he goes, "Dude, guess what?" I'm like, "What, man?" He goes, "There's a brand new Toto album out." And I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." It's like, I managed to get a copy, but it's on like Relativity. It's like, I don't think it's going to get a big push or nothing. And apparently it came out in Europe like late last year, but it's out now. I got myself a CD. You need to get one. I'm like, all right, I will get one. So anyway, so we get together and we listen to Kingdom of Desire together. And we really dig it. We really dig it. We notice, of course, this is the last album featuring drumming from Jeff Porcaro, who had died, I think, the year before. And it's the album where Steve Lukather kind of took the reins. He's singing most, if not all, the songs. There's lots of guitar on here. Kind of Africa and Rosanna and all that stuff. It's kind of in the past, right? This is almost like a new Toto for the new decade, right? So, but right around this time that this album comes out, Steve and I decide that we're going to book a vacation down at the Jersey Shore. And we knew that he and I wanted to spend the week down there, but we had invited a lot of our other friends to kind of come and go as they like during the week, right? So we rented it was like a top level of a house, like a block and a half away from the water in Long Beach Island, down the Jersey Shore. And we said, we're going to be there from Saturday till the following Saturday. Anybody wants to come down, hang out and party, come on down. And so that first weekend we were down there, we checked in on Saturday. A bunch of friends came Saturday, they stayed Sunday, and I think by Monday, everybody went back to do their thing. So it was basically just me and Steve for the rest of the week. And as we did back in those days, we just were like, we stocked up on beer, junk food, and tunes. That was it. And we were on the second floor, we had like a deck and the stairs that went down to the street level, and that deck didn't really overlook the water, but we was facing the water, which was like a block and a half away. And it was hot that week. And let me tell you something. We sat on that deck day in and day out, drinking beer after beer after beer, eating bags and bags of pretzels and peanuts, cranking this album over and over and over again. We became very friendly with the local seagulls because this is what we would do. We would just line our empty bottles on the railing that went around the deck, and we would just throw like pretzels and peanuts up in the air, and the birds would flock for miles and come fly around this house waiting for the two drunken fools listening to Kingdom of Desire by Toto to give them some niblets and whatnot. And we did that from like Tuesday through Friday. Occasionally we would go out and venture out and go out to like a bar or a club or a restaurant or something to eat. But for the most part, we just sat out there drank all day into the night and just listened to like Gypsy Train and Don't Chain My Heart and Never Enough and the great instrumental Jake to the Bone and the title track Kingdom of Desire, Kick Down the Walls, She Knows the Devil, and just marveling in the guitar skills of Steve Lukather, and really, our eyes were opened about just how great of a singer he always was. I mean, he always sang lead vocals on the Toto albums, but he would sing it with, sing it with other guys. David Page sang a lot of lead. Fergie sang some stuff. You had all these other singers, Joseph Williams, right? But here it's basically Lukather. And this became the soundtrack not only to this vacation down at the Jersey Shore. By the end of the week, we were like ready to go home because we were like way too much sun, way too much beer, just ready to go home and just kind of detox for a little bit. But that's what we did back then. It's like, this became the soundtrack to that entire year for both of us. And I think it's one of the reasons why Kingdom of Desire remains one of my favorite Toto albums of all time. It's just, it's just tied to a time in your life and a story and friendship and just being free and just not giving a shit and doing whatever you want and just hanging out in a place that you enjoy. That's what it's all about. And that's my final story for today. The Vacation album of 1993, Kingdom of Desire by Toto. I will always think of the Jersey Shore and this album basically the same. They're tied together, and God only remembers what shitty beer we were drinking, because this was a time period where we weren't really drinking gourmet stuff. It's like basically whatever you can afford that's cheap. Was this when we were drinking lots of Molson? And God, I hope not. I don't remember. To be honest, I have no clue what we were drinking at that time. It was too long ago. But God, it's like over 30 years ago. It's crazy when you think about it. But anyway, that's my story for today. Let us know your final story here in 2024 down in the comments below. And we'll see you tomorrow for albums that are 50 years old in 2025 as we look back on our favorite albums from 1975. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea Tranquility membership options all down below. Thank you in advance for all of you who do support the channel, and we'll see you next year, tomorrow, for more programming. Happy New Year, everybody. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you on the flip side in 2025. Thanks for a great year, everybody, and we'll see you soon. I am Pete Pardo. Take care. Bye-bye.